All right, well, nobody on Zoom. We're just gonna get started, and if they show up, they can join. All right, well, I'm gonna introduce myself in Zoom, because later this is being recorded and somebody else may be watching this later. Since everybody in the classroom already knows me, but I'm Kirsten Sitnick. I'm a realtor here, trainer here, coach here. I'm also a labs advisor, which means that there's about 120 people in Keller Williams who beta test Command before it goes out to everybody else. I'm one of those people who beta test. And the advantage to that to you is just that if there's something about Command that just kind of feels like you have there's something you don't like or something you would like to be better, I have a direct connection with people who work with it. So I'm able to give them feedback and changes, things like that, which is really handy. And this whole series that we're into now today is every Wednesday from 1 to 2, unless there's either something going on or I'm not here. So most Wednesdays from 1 to 2, we're doing something about Command. We've done a few classes already in this series, and today we're talking about buyer presentations and listing presentations and how to use designs and Command to create those. And if you are new, just like Monica is, there's no reason you couldn't start doing this now, even though you don't have a buyer yet, because as soon as you have a buyer, you're probably going to want this. And then you're going to be focusing on the contracts. At least you would already have this part done. Kim, have you started your buyer presentation? Oh, there you see your time, right? The other thing I would say about this is don't overthink it. We're going to make a buyer presentation today, and you could just spend a little bit of time, just put your phone number and your picture in there and print it out and not worry about it, and it would be fine. Or you could spend hours and hours and hours making it yours and customizing it. That's fine too, but don't wait to start using it until it's perfect. You can change it at any time. So don't worry about, just I always say like progress, not perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it as good as you can, and then just go with it. All right, if you've used Command before, you know that these things on the left are the applets that we can do to get to different parts of Command. And the part we're using today, if I click on that red square, I can see the name of each of the applets. And the one we want is called Designs. Okay, my Designs applet looks like this. Yours will look different because you're seeing designs that I've done. So you don't have these yet. If you haven't worked on designs yet, your screen will be blank because you haven't done anything. And when I do a design in Command, I like to start with the template, because what a template does is it's going to give me most of the information already. And then I'm just going to go in and change it and just make a couple of little changes here and there. So today I want to make either a buyer or listing presentation. And so to do that, we're going to import that. You're going to click on Import Design. Nobody shows up on Zoom. I'm going to turn the Zoom off because it makes it so slow for me. But we'll see. Maybe somebody will attend. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to click on Choose a Template. Okay, because here's what I want to see. Is on the left side of my screen, I want to see the different types of designs I can do. There's hundreds of designs in here. There's so many things you could make using the Designs in Command. It's fabulous. I just can't even, there's so much there. So for example, if I wanted to, I could make an open house flyer. I could make postcards here. I could do social media posts, all sorts of things I could do. So if I click around on different sections, I can see what goes with that section. So like for listings, I've got all kinds of things. Buyers, I've got lots of different things. Do you guys want to do a buyer presentation today or a listing presentation? Listing. Doesn't matter? Yeah, okay. Let's do a listing. Just because Kim's doing a listing right now. And it kind of doesn't matter which one we do. The things we're doing, you're going to use the same steps, even if it's a buyer presentation. So all I had to do was on the left side, I clicked on listing presentation, and then I have some different templates that I can use. Now, all of these templates, the text that's in them is exactly the same. So it doesn't, they're not going to be all that different. It's really about the design, about the look. So which look do you like better? Do you like the solid black one better? Do you like this white one? You know, which look do you like better? So just find one, whichever one you like better. And I'm going to go to that one and click on use. Okay, and that's going to open that template up for me. All right. And now we get to just start making changes. Okay, the template that opened up is 29 pages long. I can see that because it's showing me in the lower right corner. I'm going to click where it says pages so I can see all of the pages that come with this template. So the thing that I usually do first when I'm working with one of these is I go through those pages and delete the ones I don't want. All right, because 29 pages is pretty long. You know, and if I'm going on an appointment, I probably don't want all 29 of those pages. Okay. So you can choose which pages you want to have and which pages you don't. Keep as many of them as you like. For myself, here's what I do is I have like my buyer agreement, my buyer presentation, and my listing presentation. And then when I'm going on an appointment, sometimes I just don't print every page, you know, because especially if I know that that client is more of a give me the bottom line kind of person, you know, they might not want all this detail. I don't need it. Or, but other times what I'll just do is I'll bring the whole thing with me. And then in the conversation, we just might skip a bunch of these pages if it seems like that person really doesn't want to go through all of everything I have to say. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But on the right side, I can just kind of click on each page and then I'll see what the page is showing me. So this one is just instructions for how to use the template. So I know I'm going to delete that one. I'm not going to need that. To delete any page, I go to the ... in the upper right corner and choose delete. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. Okay, so then I can go page by page and it's going to show me what that page is going to look like. And you can see this is a listing presentation. So it has a spot for me to put the particular property that where I'm going on the appointment with. Right. So if I wanted to, I could go past there, take a picture of the house beforehand, and then import it into the listing presentation. Is that typical or no, it isn't. It isn't typical, but that would be a nice little extra added touch. You know, I feel like if you did that, that client is going to be like, look at that, you know, because you went and put that picture in there. Now, let's say you don't have time to do that. Let's let Daniel in here. If you don't have time to do that, maybe you would just delete this page and not have it as part of your listing presentation. Okay, which is fine. And that's, I would say that about every page is, you know, some of these you're going to want to keep, some you're not. So if I keep scrolling through, I'll see page after page. Look, so this is for you to put comparables in there. So me personally, I don't use this page. I do the CMA in Bright MLS and I use that for my comparables. So for my listing agreement, it does not include this page. But that's just a personal preference that I have. You can choose how you want to do it any way you'd like. So for me, if I'm doing it, I'm deleting this page because I don't want I'm going to use my comparable properties from Bright MLS. So I would just choose delete. I'm going to delete it. Yes, gone. Okay, so for myself, I'm doing this, I'm going to go through and look at each page and decide which things I want. You might even choose to print this whole thing out so that you can look through it on paper and write on it and see what changes you need to make in advance. Right? That wouldn't be a bad idea at all to go ahead and change that. All right, so once I've gone through and I figured out which pages I like and which pages I don't like, then I'm going to need to go in and start making changes. Okay, I'm going to go to this first page because this is going to let me do all the changes I want to. I can show you things, but what I'm doing on this page is for everything, how you change it. Okay, so the first thing I have to change quite often is text. Okay, so like right here, they put somebody's name. So this is intended for you to put the client's name. So that's going to change for every single one, right? Any text that I want to change, one of the ways to do it is just to double click on it and start making changes. Okay, so if this is Maria and Bob, I got his name wrong, so I'm going to put Bob in there instead. Okay, so I can go and make And Bob Roberts, that'd be pretty great. Didn't even think about that when I first did it. Okay, hopefully his name is Bob. But anyway, I'm able to just go ahead and change it, right, anytime I want, throughout the whole thing. Now that works for text that's this big, but see how tiny this text is? That would be kind of hard to change like that. So I have two ways I can adjust to this tiny text like this. One of the ways is not my favorite way, but one of the ways is to just kind of keep zooming in until it's a little more comfortable. I still think it's kind of tiny though. You know, for me, I think that's kind of hard to work with. Okay, so then there's another option. If I have some text selected, I can use what's called a typewriter to be able to edit that text all by itself without its formatting. So when I've got text selected, move this little screen out of the way. My button disappeared. Get this again. Okay. There it is. It looks like this. See this icon? It looks like a little black square and a white square with a line between them, and it's called typewriter. If I click on that when I have some text, you see how I'm seeing the text right here. It's easy enough for me to read. It's not in some kind of weird fonts. You know, it's just really easy to edit that text. So that's what I prefer to do is I click on the text, click on that typewriter, and then I go ahead and make my changes. Okay, so I'm going to change this phone number to my phone number right now. Okay, and I'm not going to do the rest because you kind of get the idea. Is I just go ahead and make whatever changes I want to make. And when I'm done, I'm going to click on Save Changes. Okay, so step one of this is go through the document, delete a bunch of pages I don't need.
I have a question why that little thing is there, that little circle thing.
Yes.
Can you do something with that and then it do something else?
Yes, that's a great question. So if you can't hear it on Zoom, Kim's question was about this button right here. Look what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
It's to rotate it. So if you wanted to, like in this case, it doesn't make any sense to have it sideways like that. But anytime you see that circle with the arrow, you can rotate that thing. You know, I use that a lot actually is with graphics. You know, sometimes I'll import some clip art or, you know, some kind of little graphic and I want to shift it over. So that's a good question. Thank you. Glad you asked that. Yeah, so, you know, so I'm going to print it out. I'm going to decide what changes I make. And then I start going through and changing my text. And we just saw how you can change the actual words that are there, but you can also format it. So if you look at the top, you can change the font, you can change the size, you can make it bold, italic, you know, do whatever you want to make that text look like you want it to. You could just do whole pages of your own, really, if you wanted. I don't personally do that because there's already a template here. So why am I, you know, doing all this work? But you could. You can change anything you want there. I can also change photos. All right, so first of all, you can see right away. I don't want her picture there. I want my picture. I don't want it to say KWDBA name. I want it to say Kellerman's. I want to say legacy. You know, so I need to change those photos. Maybe as I'm going through it, I don't like this photo. I want to swap this out with a picture of a kitchen or something like that. And so everything in there you can edit. All right, so we're going to start by changing a photo. Okay. I'm just going to change this photo first. All right, so I've got it selected. Right. If I click on when I selected it, it gave me some photo options over on the left, and I clicked on workspace. And I'm gonna click on house interiors. Go away. Okay. So there's lots of pictures of house interiors over here that I can choose from. You can upload your own images as well, but I show you a lot here. So if what you want is a house photo, you might as well just use something that's already here. So here's how this works. I'm going to scroll through and find a photo I like. But here's the thing people always get wrong. People always want to just click on it. And if you do that, it's just going to smack it right in the middle of the page. So here's the secret trick for how you do this. I select the photo I don't want. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm clicking on the photo I don't want. You can see it got like a blue box around it showing that it's selected. I'm going to go over to the photo that I want to have there instead. But instead of clicking on it, I'm going to click on this thing that looks like 2 arrows. Do you see that button? It's like two arrows pointing in a different direction, kind of in a circle. And when I click on that, it replaces the image. It puts it in the place of the one that was there before. Now I'm seeing that this is now on top of that other thing I had. So I'm going to have to move this back. Here's my move back button. I can move this backward. No, that's too many. Move it forward. I'm going to move this around. I'm going to put this right here. Okay, so you can see I can just drag anything wherever I want. I can replace things. If I drag from the corners, I could resize it if I wanted to. You know, so you have complete creative, you know, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do the same thing with this picture, with her photo. I don't want her there. I want me. My assets shows photos that I have already uploaded. So you can see my photos here already because I uploaded it into my command. So it's, I did it one time, it's here forever. To add your own, you're going to click add image and bring your own photo in. Okay. And then it's there forever. So you don't have to keep doing that over and over and over again. You do it one time and then it's in your library. And you don't do it again until you get your new headshot done, you know. But same thing. I'm not just going to click on it. Watch what happens if I click on it. If I click right in the center, it's just going to put it right in the middle of the page. Right. I don't want that. So I'm hitting delete. Instead, I'm going to click on the photo I don't want, go over to the one I do want. And instead of clicking on it, I'm going to click on that replace image. And instead of putting it right in the middle of the screen, it put it right where that other photo used to be. Yeah, it's super easy. KWDBA name, same thing. Okay. I clicked on it. Look for my my assets, imported image. I could scroll down. I'm not seeing mine on here. All right. I'm not going to take the, let's see, not going to take time to upload it right now. Yeah, it's not here. I don't know why it's not showing up, but it's not. So I'm just going to do with just a regular Keller Williams one for now. All right, same idea though. So what I would do next is I would go page by page. Each time I'm checking the text that's there, seeing if I want to change anything, replacing everywhere there's somebody else's photo, putting my photo in, putting my phone number in, all that kind of stuff. But again, page by page, you're going to delete some of these pages. So that's most of the time. Most of the time isn't replacing the text. Most of the time is figuring out which pages you want and which ones you don't want. Okay. And then when you're done, so just pretend I deleted a bunch of pages. I changed a whole bunch of things. When you're done, you probably want to print it, right? That's probably the next step. The way you print something is there is this order print button, but that's if you're getting it printed somewhere else. Okay, if I'm getting 50 copies professionally printed, that's when I'm doing that. That's not what I usually do. I usually just print this thing out on the color printer here. Okay, that's what I'm usually doing. Instead, what I'm going to do is go to this download button. And when I click the download button, it gives me some options. Okay, I'm just going to hold this open so you can see what my choices are. JPEG and PNG are used for images. Okay, JPEG is the most commonly used one. You're uploading like to Facebook or your, Instagram or something like that. You usually save it as a JPEG. You can also do a PNG, but it's very similar to JPEG. They're both just for images. PDFs for standard or for printing are like things that I'm going to do on my printer. I'm going to save it as a PDF. And if you're printing it on the printer here, you're going to do PDF standard. PDF for printing is when you're paying somebody to get a whole bunch of copies of it. There's some agents in our office here who have like a buyer or listing presentation that they don't customize for each person. They just did one and they got it printed and they have, they printed 100 of them. And now whenever they go on an appointment, they have it already. So that's where you use that. All right, so what I have to do is I just go to PDF standard. When I click on that, I can choose, do I want all the pages or do I just want certain ones? And then I just hit download And once I've downloaded it, then I can print it out. I could email it to somebody. You know, maybe I get emails from advance and bring a copy with me. You know, so once you download it, now it's a PDF, you can just do whatever you want with it. Okay. Any questions on that before I go on? Okay. It would be a really good idea for you, Monica, to do this pretty soon so that you, because here's what happens is people don't do this in the beginning. And then all of a sudden you have an appointment and you're rushing around getting ready for the appointment and worrying about this. So if you have some downtime, it's not a bad idea to just play around and modify it. Right, exactly. All right, so the stuff we just did there, we could use on lots of other things. Bless you. So I'm gonna hit done. And then wait while it saves to go back to my designs. I want to just show you what's available here so that you spend some time playing around with this. And I'm going to demonstrate some things, but I'm not going to demonstrate the things we use for listings because that's a class in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I have a class called Market Your Listing, and there we're going to be talking about moving house flyers. We're going to do a postcard, like you can from command. I can send out a just sold postcard to the neighbors around my listing. It's very automatic and they look great. So that's in 2 weeks. So I don't want to cover that stuff today, but I want to just talk about all of the other types of things that you could do here, because once you know just a few things, you're going to use those same steps on everything in here. It doesn't change, you know, depending on what type of thing it is. All right, so I'm just going to choose a template. This fully edit any PDF, Kim, is what I was thinking we could get into with your PDF where you wanted to remove some pages. So that would absolutely be worth playing around with if you want to try it. Okay, I'm going to hit choose a template again. All right. All right, so I already showed you that, you know, we just could do that listing template, you know, or the buyer agency template. All right, but let's say that I want to, I just want to post some stuff on my Facebook. Okay, Halloween's coming up. I want to make like a happy Halloween post that has a Keller Williams logo on it. Okay, I'm going to go under holiday. That's one of the categories. And then under holiday, they're divided up by month. So I'm going to click October. Okay. And then there's lots of templates. Lots and lots and lots of templates that are appropriate for October. And you can see they're in like all kinds of different sizes. So if you're doing it on Instagram or if you're on Facebook, like you got a lot of options for how they're going to look. They're all going to work the same though, which is kind of nice. At the top, if I wanted to, now I'm seeing all, but I could just choose Instagram, stories, square or wise. There's some different size options. Okay, so let's say that I want to do something on Instagram. I'll just narrow it down a little bit. Now it's only showing me 2. I'm going to go back to all. Okay. All right. I think I like, right. I think I want this pumpkin one. Okay. So you're going to do the same thing we just did. You're going to choose something that's already here. Click on use. And these are really, really super quick because there's not that much you change. All I'm going to change is this DBA name to be Keller Williams Legacy. Download it as a JPEG and post it to my Facebook. I need to add it again, but I have had in the calendar before something I call Get Social, where we just go in here and hands-on everybody works on social media posts together. And it's been super fun. I think I need to do it again because it was really, really fun. Really super fun. There's some really great designs in here though. So if you have a chance, I would play around and just see what's here. So for every month, there's holidays, always holidays that you can have something to post. Okay, for this KWRI starter kit, if I go to business basics, there's a business card template if you want to use that one. There's many other templates around. Okay, there's posts that you can do. You know, the lead generation things that you can use. just so many. So this is easy. So here's some templates, local expert. Okay, so placeholder for month and year. And I can just look up the numbers in Bright and put them in there. You know, so that one. Let's use it so I can just show you what it looks like. Okay, so if I wanted to make this one, I would change it to have the month and year, number of contracts written, value. So the number of contracts written, number of contracts I've written outpaced by the market by X%. So I can put in what my numbers are compared to the, you know, general population. That's what this one is for. Local expert.
Auto, look at the.
Yeah, I'll show you. This is a sneak peek because that is for listings. But let me show you because it's super cool. Super, super, super cool. So you're just getting a preview of what's going to happen in 2 weeks. Auto create is for doing a whole bunch of things for one listing. Like for one listing, I can make many things. So we're going to use this in 2 weeks. If I do this auto, I have to put a listing in here. I'm going to put one of my sold listings. Okay, this is mine. Okay, continue. So I chose a listing, just pretend all those things are correct. It's command's gonna go to Bright, pull the description that I have in my listing, pull the photos that I have in my listing. Pull the details, like how many bedrooms, how many baths, what year it was built, square footage, all that kind of stuff. And look what it does for me, is it makes me it makes me stuff. Like in each one makes different things. If I just hit auto, it just pulls that right in and makes multiple things for me.
Which is on the side? Was that on the side or was it in the?
It was just on one of those things. So let me just show you how I get to it most of the time. I can't get to it how I'm thinking. Never mind. I have to set up something to show you, but it's not set up because I wasn't getting into it today. Okay, here's a get sold. So anyway, those auto ones, let's just do it. If I go into my command and go into an opportunity, you can come in and join us. We're halfway through, but you're welcome. Back to my command, again. She's not even here, so I'm answering a question that she doesn't even get to see. Okay, here's Fred Flintstone. So when I'm looking at something called an opportunity, it's going to recommend designs for the stage of that opportunity. It shows me different things if it's just listed than if it's just sold.
Right.
And gives me some ideas of, here, you might want to post this on your Facebook, you know?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's great because it's so quick and easy.
Mhm.
Super, super quick and easy. All right, let me go back to designs. Anyway, you're gonna love it. Like, it's just,
Yeah, it's really.
it's so
nice, and
great.
there's so much to choose from.
So much you can choose from, so much. There's an email signature in here. That's kind of nice, so that, you know, that you can just put at the bottom of your Gmail.
Okay.
I think that one's under business basics. Nope. Actions, no, I don't know where it is. You can even search on things. So what's funny is, like, there's some that I never can find in here, but I know that they're here and I have to search on them. Let me show you this. Go away. Okay. All right. But this auto-create thing is what Kim was talking about, and that's where I put in a listing and then it will auto-create a whole bunch of stuff for me.
Okay.
Exactly. And under auto-create, I could do a section, oh, it's an open house, let me auto-create a whole bunch of stuff for an open house.
Yeah. It just pulls it, lines it all up.
I don't always do that. Sometimes I just like to do designs by myself
Yeah.
and just pick, oh, I want a social post, let me do this one,
Right.
you know, but auto-create is definitely much quicker if you want to do it like that. I can also search for a template,
Mhm.
and one of my favorites is if you search on activity book. This one, I love this. You just have to know that it's there. But this, you can print out a coloring book, like a coloring and activity book. So what I do is I print some of these out, and whenever, you know, in the fall, when school supplies are on sale, I buy a bunch of those boxes of crayons that have like 16 colors or whatever.
Right.
So if I have an appointment with somebody who has young kids, I print this whole little book out. It has my name on it, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, it has my name on it, right? And it's 12 pages long. So here's all my pages. You know, so it's just a cute little book
Yeah,
with
it's
like
really
this, you can, you know, to color, or like there's, you know, a maze, you know, so it's
Right.
just fun stuff in there.
Mhm.
There's,
That's a really good idea.
oh, I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. People like it too when I give it to
Yeah.
them. People really like it. Yeah, so once you get your command login, I mean, there's so much stuff that's already in here that you can
Right.
just start playing around with. You know, start making, you know, a Thanksgiving post or.
So the Instagram posts and the Facebook posts can be intertwined. can they? Okay.
It's just about whether it's square,
Oh,
because
okay.
Instagram wants square. You know, so as long as you do social square. Let's do that. Let's see which one of these. So these are just, now I'm looking just in the November posts. Here's all the square ones
Oh,
in my
okay.
November posts. You know, if I wanted that size,
Mhm.
and they'll have the same images in a rectangle
Right.
too,
And
so that you can,
fit,
it'll just fit better.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So you get to pick which one you want. Which is,
Yeah, nice.
oh man, I just think it's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like the first ones people use are, so this, lead generation is kind of cool. There's a lot of good stuff in here.
I see where you have, rental and not rental, buy and sell, do you have rental?
Mm-mm,
No.
nope. We have a Pi Day coming up, so this is gonna be useful. You can get in on that now. Get in on it now. Market expert, what if you put a home value thing, you know, like look at that, there's just so many cool things to put in there. You know, so it's something to play around with.
Yeah.
Not gonna see it all today, you know, play around with it and
Yeah.
figure out which ones you want to use, you know?
Right.
Yeah. See which one you want to use.
So those are business cards. You can create-
That's one of the places you can do it. We're gonna end this early, and then I want to show you some things we didn't get to.
Okay.
We just you and I ran out of time, you know, but we can, I want to show you some things we didn't get to.
Okay.
I just needed to start because I wasn't sure if somebody's coming in on Zoom, you know?
Good.
All right, well, let's wrap this up.